By the way, this here might seem as if we've deleted everything else of our recording, but we haven't. All we've done is we've chosen which part of the recording we'd like to hear. If we go to the audio pool by pressing Ctrl F, we can see that this is our WAV file here. This is the whole bass recording that we've got. This was the event that we had before, the segment, and now this tiny little bit here is represented by this little field there, and you can see everything else is still there. It just means that from the whole recording we've got, we would just hear this little bit at this stage. So I'll close the audio pool again, and I want to close the audio editor, but I don't want to keep the changes. So what I'll do is I'll press Escape, as with all other editors as well, and I want to cancel the changes. So I'll press Yes, back to the arrangement window, and if I hit Ctrl E again, I'm back in the audio editor and everything is just as it was before. The next handle I want to talk to you about is the cue point. The cue point is used for Cubase to so that Cubase knows how and where to quantize your segments to. Have a look at this part of the waveform here. We've got bar 3 here, and you might be able to see that this little spike is just in front of bar 3. I could make the view a little bit larger. Bar 3 is there, and you can see I've played this note slightly ahead of the beat. If I now wanted this note to be exactly on the beat, all I need to do is pick up the cue tool, drag it across to that little element there, to the spike, and let go. You've heard the bass there as well. I'm going to zoom in a little bit as well so I can see the notes a bit better. We're here. So I'm going to place the cue tool where the spike is. Like that, maybe. That might be okay. Now I'll select the part, and I'll just hit the Q key on the keyboard, which stands for quantizing, and then part has moved forward. I'll undo this one again. Undo, or Ctrl Z. I'll zoom out. The start position of this segment is 11132 ticks, and the cue point is slightly in front of beat, in front of bar 3. I'll press Q again. The cue position is exactly on bar 3 now, and you've seen that this whole segment has moved to position bar 1, beat 1 for 16th note, 600 ticks. Ctrl Z to undo it, and Q to re-quantize it again. So I'll quickly repeat this. You move the cue point to wherever you want to place it. Listen to the little bits there. Let's say we want to quantize this bit here, so we'll move it to as close as possible as we can. And by pressing Shift and Alt, and then somewhere in the editor you move your cursor. See, I'm pressing Shift Alt and then I click into the field. So now I'll press Shift Alt again and go somewhere near the cue point. Let's zoom in. So I'll move the cue point down to there maybe. Zoom out again. And let's say I want this one to be quantized to, let's say, bar 3. I'll set the quant position to bars and hit the Q key on the keyboard, and you've seen that the segment has just moved according to what we wanted it to go to. Ctrl Z undoes it. If we want this one to go to either beat 3 or beat 4, we'll have to set the quant position to, let's say, beat. Let's press Q. Yeah, it doesn't go any further than the beginning of the part. This is a little problem that we have with Cubase. But if I want to move it back and now hit Q again, it's going to go to beat 4. The reason why I couldn't move any further, like that way towards the left, is I wanted the part to start on beat 3 there. I wanted the Q bit to be on beat 3, but this segment is touching the beginning of the part. This part there, and that's why we can't move the segment any further to the left. You can create a new part at the beginning, for example, glue those two bits together, open this part again, and now we've created more space here. See this, we've got a bit of space, and if we now hit the Q key, the Q point will go to beat 3 there. So let's go back into the editor again and have a look at what happens if we change the position of the part. So I'll hit play, undo edit solo, and I'm now going to change the position of the parts. See now we've displaced the bass figure. Let me start the part again. 2, 3. You can hear it doesn't quite go anymore. But in some instances this makes musical sense. Maybe not all the way through here, but you could select little parts. Okay. Now because we've played around with the position of the segment, I want to delete this part there, the first bass part, and I want to copy the second bass part that we've got into the first position again, and then open the first bass part, the new first bass part, and then back to normal again. And I think now it would be sensible to start using some more tools. So let's use the scissors. Set snap to quarter notes. And now we've created lots of little segments. Set snap to half notes. See now I'm trying to cut on the beat, but it wouldn't let me. I'll do the same thing again. I'm trying to cut on beat 2, but because the snap setting is to half notes, you can only cut on beats 3 and on beats 1. Now we can delete some of those segments. And we've talked about positioning. This is the nudge tool. We've moved the position of this part forward. So if we press, get the nudge tool again. If we keep Control pressed, it nudges to the other way. Nudge, nudge. Set snap to 8th notes. Now we can nudge the segments by 8th note. Press Control the other way. Now even though we've deleted some of the segments here, we haven't actually deleted any of the audio material. If I go back into the audio pool again, this is still our main audio file, the bass file. These were the segments that we had before, the longest segments were 4 bars. And these little bits here are all the little cuts that we've created just now. Some of them are smaller, some of them are a little bit larger. And whenever you've got a number here behind the speaker, it means that those segments are being used in the editor at some point. So if we look at this segment here, for example, this segment's called bass.wav 16. I go into the pool again by pressing Control F, and we just go down here. There it is, bass.wav 16. That's the sound. I'm clicking on the speaker symbol here, and let's compare it with what we've got here. We'll get out our speaker symbol. See, it's the same thing. If I play this one here and select it, that one's called bass .wav 18. Control F brings up the audio pool. Let's look for 18. There it is. I'll click on the speaker symbol. So it's the same one. Okay. Now I'm going to select all of these with a rectangle, same as in the arrangement window, or you can just click on them and then keep shift pressed, click on the next one and the next one and the next one. Make sure that you don't click on the key point, because it doesn't actually select or deselect. You have to be just next to the key points. Delete them all. There's another one. Delete that one as well with the keyboard. Just press delete. And I'm going to get hold of the end inset and drag it across, and the whole part is back again. Finishes in bar 5. This one's called bass WAV 6. Go back into the pool again. WAV 6 is there. That's the one that's being used. And you can see all the other segments that we had before, because we've deleted them, they haven't got any numbers behind them anymore. And we could delete them in the audio pool as well now, just by selecting them one after another. I keep shift pressed and I hit delete. A segment is like a certain cut, maybe, or a certain selection, which you can either use or not use. It's up to you. Let's go back into cutting the segment up, but this time I want to go for slightly larger segments, so I'll go for half bars, half notes. There's another tool. This is the mute tool. So you can mute certain segments. Let's have a look at the audio pool again. Got lots of different segments, new segments with new numbers, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here they are. The audio pool doesn't actually show you which ones are muted and which aren't. It just says that all of these are used in the audio editor at some point. Now you can pick up any of these and just move them around. And now you can see what I use the different lanes for. The lanes are just for rearranging your material. Let's delete those. You can copy segments by pressing Alt. So I've pressed Alt and I got hold of the segment and just dragged it across. And when I press Control and make a copy, you get ghost copies again, same as in the arrangement window. You've got the italic writing here. And now if I change the key point for one of the parts and update the view by just deselecting that one, you can see that the key point here changed accordingly to this one as well. Just click somewhere, click there, and then the key position is changed. Change the key point again, activate it, and it changes there as well.